Hello, my name is Rob, and today I'm going to make a World War II era dinner. Welcome to Rob's Random. This is a channel where I make videos about things that interest me, and the day this video comes out is the Saturday after VE Day, and I'm recording this on VE Day itself. And I was thinking about VE Day, and it kind of got me thinking about what I learned at school about home life during World War II, specifically food. Now, obviously, we've all heard about the rationing that took place during World War II, the ration books, and how little amounts of, like, meat and dairy everybody got. But the thing that I don't think school taught me that much, and I didn't really realise, was that fresh vegetables were never rationed. So you could buy any fresh vegetables, there was no limit on them. And with the whole dig for victory and having people grow vegetables at home, I think people were eating a lot more vegetables back during World War II than they are today. So today I decided to make myself a World War II era dinner, and because of all the vegetables that were available during then, it's a lot easier for me as a vegetarian to make that kind of dinner. So I decided to make a chunky vegetable soup and some parsnip patties to go with it. Both of these things are recipes I found online. There is links in the description, so I'm not going to go through the entire recipe, so you can use the links and you can make them there, but I'll quickly run through how I made the soup. First off, I fried off a leek and an onion for about 10 minutes. Then I put in a chopped up potato and carrot and left that for a few minutes. I sprinkled all of that with flour as well as salt and pepper and then left that to fry for a few minutes. Then I added about 800 millilitres of vegetable stock and left it to simmer for about half an hour. I also added in parsley and thyme, although I forgot to film that. I also chopped up a cabbage, and so when I want to make the soup tonight, I'm going to dish out how much I'm going to eat and then put in half the cabbage then and cook it like that because the cabbage isn't going to take that long to do. I could have put the entire cabbage in the entire soup and just done that, but half of it is going to be for my dinner tomorrow, and I figured by then the cabbage will have gone kind of mushy and not very nice. It was a surprisingly simple recipe to make a surprisingly nice vegetable soup. And so to go with that, I decided to do something a little bit weird, and I found a recipe for parsnip patties. Now, I don't really like parsnips. There's something about them that's a bit too earthy and rooty for me, although I'm slightly coming round to them if I like bake them for quite a long time and they go like caramelised. That obviously wasn't an option back in the day, so these parsnip patties are boiled parsnips that are then mashed up, shaped into patties and then fried. And there is something about boiled parsnips then being fried that just feels very 1940s to me. Again, there is a link in the description to the recipe that I followed, but it was very simple. I didn't peel the parsnips because there is a lot of nutrition in those peels, although that was a bit of a mistake, I'll come to that later. I then chopped up the parsnips into kind of inch cubes, boiled them for about 10 minutes and then started to mash them. I then realised that I hadn't boiled them for long enough and that it was very difficult to mash them, but after a few minutes trying I got somewhere with it. This is also where the skins of the parsnips became an issue because I hadn't cut them up at all, so they were like very stringy. I ended up having to take some scissors to them to like cut them into small bits. I then threw in some extra salt and pepper and some flour and shaped them into patties. So now all that is left to do is to put half the cabbage in with the soup and fry up the parsnip patties, and then we can have our World War II era dinner. Right, so here we are. I've got my chunky vegetable soup. I have got my parsnip patties. Let's give this a go. So, I can already see several mistakes that I've made. The patties are way too thick. They took quite a while to brown, and there's not a lot of liquid in the soup. It's too chunky. But do you know what? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. So I'm gonna go for the soup first because I know it tastes quite nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a hearty vegetable soup. It's really nice. It was so easy to make. It didn't have that much like seasonings on, but it's still really nice. And I've got that for dinner tomorrow. I'm happy about that. Now, these parsnip patties, these are a different thing. This is the nicest looking one, so I'm going to slice that open. So they definitely cooked because I boiled them until they were cooked. So they've basically just got a little bit of extra crisp on them. So let's give this a go and see what this is like. That's quite nice. It's still obviously parsnip, and like, I'm not the biggest fan of parsnip, but I don't mind it. And in this form, yeah, it's pretty good. The crispy outside definitely helps it. I've seasoned it quite a lot with salt and pepper. That's pretty good. If I made them a lot thinner, I think they would be really nice. Like equal parsnip to crisp ratio. I think that would actually make them really nice to me. I can see them going very well with this soup though. So this is a very nice, healthy, hearty meal, and it is World War II authentic. So I think this has been a success. As I say, there are links in the description to the recipes that I used. I'm definitely going to be making both of these again. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rob. I'll see you in another random video next week.